Happy Sunday, everybody. I have a message, hopefully for all of you, but I know for sure for some. I'm going to read this script because I'm anointed to read this prompt, and I know it's going to bless some of you. Nonetheless, surrendering versus desires of your heart. Some of you have spiritually shifted. Maybe you once lived in a flow where everything you wanted seemed to manifest on command. Then suddenly the energy changed. Doors you expected to open now feel sealed, and the no you sense in your spirit feels heavier than usual. Is that anybody out there? You've probably heard both messages. Speak the desires of your heart, and source will honor it. And surrender to something greater than yourself. But which one is it? Here's what I've learned. Your desires aren't wrong. Let me repeat that. Your desires aren't wrong. They're not wrong. They are evolving. Woo! When you surrender, you empty your container. When you speak, your desires refill. Let me say that again because that's a big part of this messaging. When you surrender, you empty your container. You're pouring out of yourself. You're saying, God, source, spirit, I'm emptying out what I think I want, what I think is going to be best for me, what I think is going to fulfill me. I'm going to empty that out. When you speak, when you speak the desires, you start to refill that container. That's not what we want in this season. That bump between those two is sacred friction. The moment your will meets divine timing. So living between those two messages, that's what that is. It's your divine timing, and you're being called and brought into something that's much larger than what you can imagine. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me read this off. The present version of you cannot yet imagine what your what your surrendering self will hold. So you're being stretched in a way that your capacity is being widened. You're being stretched, you're being pulled so that you have capacity to hold the thing that's calling you. So if you feel that resistance, don't rush it. Sit with it. Let your no become sacred until it transforms into an aligned yes. And yep, I'm going to read that one again. Let your no become sacred until it transforms into an aligned yes. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time for the person in the back. Let your no become sacred until it transforms into an aligned yes. Today, here's our practice. Notice where you're forcing outcomes. Again, today, notice where you're forcing outcomes. Breathe. Whisper this. I surrender this space to alignment. That wasn't exactly a whisper, but I have to say it like I feel it. I surrender this space to alignment. I surrender this space to alignment because the desires of your heart will eventually harmonize with this source that shaped it. I'm Coach Rod, your come through coach. Have a legendary Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon.